Assalamu alaikum. Sulaiman Rahim here, Messenger of the Covenant. Welcome. War Talk. Welcome, brothers and sisters. More War Talk. We're at war. We've been at war for over 600 years. We were attacked 600 years, 500, 464 years ago. $464 going 465 now. A lot of people don't understand the genesis of this. The creation of the demons. The breaking of control of our control over Spain and North Italy. Most people don't know about those things. The so-called Moors, those were black people. The Moors is another name for black in Spanish. They controlled Spain for about 700 years. That's why the Spanish are dark, and the southern Italians also. They don't want to talk about those things. So, when the Moors were defeated in 1492, the same year Columbus sailed for America, so they say, the Moors were defeated at Grenada. Then came the Inquisition. They don't tell you about that, the truth about that either. You think, oh, the Inquisition, right, was to purge the church of heretics, the Catholic Church, because the Catholic Church, right, was empowered in. But that is not what we call Christianity today. Christianity came in, as the scriptures tell you, as the lesson tell you, 500 so years ago, because that's when the Catholic Church, when they rebelled, they protested. That's why they called Protestants. They protested. They broke away. Martin Luther was, now I'm talking Martin Luther King. Martin Luther was a German monk, and he broke away. And he started printing Bibles because the regular people didn't have access to Bibles. They only knew what the Pope told them, and the monks told them, right, what they wanted them to know. So that was the start of Christianity as we know it. But the reason why the Inquisition occurred, if you look it up, they tell, oh, it was the purge? No, the purge, Catholic heretics? No. It was a purging of the Islamic influence, because Spain was the only European country that was able to spared the Dark Ages, because the Moors was controlling them, and that was like a light in Europe, because everybody fled, even the Jews fled there for protection from the rest of the Europeans. So Spain, even the Jews called the Golden Age, because the Spanish, those black people called Moors, they were Muslim, right? They protected the Jews that came running there, running from the Europeans. It was like the Golden Age. That was a learning center and everything. They don't want to tell you about these things. See? So that's what the Inquisition is all about, to purge the Islamic influence out of Spain. That's why Spain was the most powerful country at the time, because they inherited all the infrastructure and everything that the Moors had left behind, their navy and all that. That's why Spain, one of the smallest European countries, was the most powerful at the time. That's why most all the explorers and everything came out of it. Columbus, Magellan, all those people, they came out of Spain. Because that was a legacy that they inherited because of Spanish, but Moors ruled for over about 700 years. That's the truth of it. See? And that's where the name Negro came from. Oh, I know, oh man, Elijah, okay, we are not followers of Elijah Muhammad, right? We praise him, right? we're an extension of him, because it said the messenger of covenant would be an extension of him, because he would be the one that would succeed him. He's the one that suddenly come to his temple. But if you read the story about John, John refused to baptize Suleiman because he said he wasn't worthy to baptize him, because that's me to initiate him to Islam, because he wasn't worthy to do it, because he said he wasn't worthy to even shine his shoes. But Jesus insisted, Suleiman insisted. So if you want to hold on to the past, hold on to it. It's an anchor. Hold on to it. Because every day we get further and further away from you. See, because you hold on to the past, that means the people that's living, they're moving to the future. So you get left farther and further behind. So that's where the word, because that's what the Spanish word for blacks were, Negro, and also Moor. Moor is another one. See. So that was part of their plan for revenge. Because Morocco was right across from Spain. And those were the first ones they took and enslaved. Because they were on the northeast coast of Africa. And it was revenge. See? That's why a messenger said the first ones came out with Muslim. When they came out of it was the Moors. So these Moors over here talking, well, they have some truth to what they're saying. But, but they're time anchors. They hold on to the past. They hold on to the truth of the past, right? Just like the students hold on to the truth of the past, but they're truth of the past. Truth of the past. So they brought them over here, right? And they call them Negroes, black. It took a British to take to the next level from Negro to nigger. That's where it came from. See? That's the story behind that. So it was revenge. See? Even though they profited by the rule of the Moors. So they were planning all the way back there with demons. They have populated the whole world with demons. We're not the only ones suffering with demons. We just had the worst case. Because half of the black population in America are demons. They spread demons Mexico, all over the islands, right? Okay. Guam, full of demons. See? A lot of us call ourselves Hispanics. Hispanics come from Spain. See? They raped women and everything, and because they didn't bring their women over here, so how did those people get light? They was dark initially. How did they get light? They didn't get light because they was marrying Spanish women. They got light because it was Spanish men. That means the same demons. And then you got Farrakhan, he wants to put a demon in an FY uniform. And if you go down to Mexico, right, you might if you're dark skinned, unless you're a tourist or something, you use there temporarily, you might have issues. They don't like dark skinned people there. They don't like the real Mexicans. So this whole world is plagued by demons. See, this whole thing is hell. We're in hell now. It's not a place you go. We're in hell. Satan has made this a living hell. It's a hell for him, but it's a hell for everyone else. So understand a little history there. But like I said, they declared war on us at least 600 years ago. They started the creation of demons, because they need demons, right, to communicate. Because they couldn't communicate with us, because when they were in Africa, the Africans was afraid of them. They thought they had leprosy. Because in Africa, if you leprosy means your skin will turn white. You have that in the book of Genesis, where Moses sticks his hand in his bosom, right, and it come out leprous white. Now, if his hand was already white, then that would have been a sign of white turn white. Because with black, he put his hand, it turned white. You have to understand the angel to understand exactly what that means. But the sealed Bible is, you still get it from there. He took and he turned leprous white. but it was black. See? But he turned the leprous white. It has something to do with the white horse and the black horse. I'm not going to get to that right here, right? But the thing is that, see, and that leper is white, right? See, when you see those colors in the angel, right, they're internal. See, the white horse means, because remember, the original nation, if you look at chapter 1, they still call all gold. Because on the outside, they're all gold. Read chapter 1. Chapter 1 talks about how it is right now. He saw 7 golden candlesticks. Wait a minute, I thought one was white, and one was greenish yellow, and one was black, and one was fiery red. Yeah, internally. Because if you read chapter 1 is talking about at the time, right, of the war. When you understand, I'm not going to it, chapter 1 of Revelation, so that means that those colors are inside. So they look like us, right? But internally, right? So like Farrakhan, internally, he's Caucasian. See? So anyway, we see those demons. They're all over the place, but they set them up to be the go-between. Because, like I said, when they went there, people, they were scared. They went to say kidnap women and rape them, and then they raised their children, send them down there, right? Because their children had the same heart they have. They might look like us, but they weren't us. And they was willing to go in and do anything master asked for, their dads asked to do. And that's how they, it started. Went in and looked around, see what they could, and that's what's going on right now, because in the essence of the whole situation is that we are the creative minds. We're the gold and silver of this country. They're technical people, very technical. They're extremely technical. See? That's why America has all this innovation that no other country has, because they have us here. We are the creators. We have a spatial mind. But they the technical, right? But they extremely technical, wickedly technical. And so they take our creativity and use it to bring in their corrupt technical vision. That's what they're doing. See? But the thing is, in the same situation I've talked about in previous presentations, right? They didn't have ability to communicate with us. Like I said, the male and the female, when they came in, the male has 10% female, and the female has 10% male, but they communicate with each other. The extremes, they couldn't use it to get rid of them. So the same situation here. But their point is they had no spatial, none, zero. They're extreme. So they had to get a go-between. That's the demons, because they are half and half. So they communicate with both of us. They come in and steal ideas and run back with massa. You think they're your friends? It's not your friends. They come and steal your ideas. They figure out what you're talking about, and they translate to massa. Massa don't understand it. That's another purpose of the demons. Because otherwise, they couldn't be able to. No, in other words, we had creativity, but there was no cord between it, a little cord between the two, right? So we could translate it into a technical spec where they could do something with. So they rely on the demons to come in, steal your ideas, talk to you, figure out what you're talking about, and then translate it to mass. Because he doesn't. He has no idea what you're talking about, no idea what you're doing, no idea what you're thinking. He don't understand you. He don't understand you at all. That's the purpose of the demons. That's one of their purposes. So let's move on. Brothers and sisters, there's two extremes in the universe. There's darkness and light. Light generates energy, darkness absorbs it. Two extremes. Light generates energy, right? Transforms energy into light, and darkness, right? Transforms light into darkness. Say it again. Light is a process turning darkness into light, and darkness is a process turning light into darkness. Just reverse. It's all energy. You either give an energy form or you take a form away from energy. It's all about energy. Everything's all about energy. There's no exceptions. So, it's easy to recognize the deceivers because they're taking energy, the light, and converting it to darkness. But you take the angels of light, they convert in darkness into light. So they're giving you something. They're giving you light, like the sun is shining light upon you. But darkness is taking the sunlight and absorbing it. It's not returning anything back. See? There's two things happening here. So you got an angel of light and an angel of darkness. So you should not be deceived because the angels of light are not asking you for anything. They're giving you something. The sun's not asking you for anything. What does the sun ask you for? Nothing. It's giving you. What does the darkness ask you for? Light. Give me more light. Give me more light. Give me more light. And not return anything back. So when you go out there and look at Farrakhan and Silas and all these clowns, Royal, give me more light, more money, more energy, and they're not returning anything back. And in regards to Farrakhan, he don't even promise you anything back. He's not saying you're not going anywhere. No promised land for you. There's no heaven after you die. Then you ain't getting that. You see? He ain't building any nation. He ain't talking about. He's not building a damn thing. But you giving him, and he's not giving you anything back. Nothing. Not even a promise. Nothing. Zero. Nada. He's giving you absolutely nothing back. No hope. Nothing. He says you're not going anywhere. So what is he giving you back? That's the darkness. He's not giving anything. And what is Suleiman giving you? He's giving you everything. He's giving you light. He's giving you knowledge, right? He's promising you the promised land, right? See? Life abundantly as long as you want it. No limits. And he can deliver. And there's a God standing behind him that's making sure, right, that these promises are not being stolen from you again. So you have one shedding light and hope and promise, and one darkness absorbing everything you have and returning nothing. Not even a promise of anything. Nothing. So it's easy to see which one is light and which one is darkness. Because you're giving and you get nothing in return. Oh, you get lip. An economic program, where is it? Does it exist? No. After when I'm dead. So when I die, I'm dead. You better get all here, but what are you going to get here? Right? You're not going to get a promised land. Right? You may get some reparations or something. Right? But you still stay here, and if you have an understanding of how energy works and vectors and everything, you know it's impossible to stay here because being here, right, is a great deal of your problem because you're being bothered by the negative vibrations that's overwhelming you, and most of you have no defense, no coping mechanism, no defense at all except run to the doctor and give them Prozac or something, which is not solving the problem. It's just making you numb to it. Like when you take operation, they get anesthesia, you just don't feel it, but you still got cut. The brain knows it, you just don't remember it. Pretty much, that's some of the ways some of those drugs works that way. That's the difference between darkness and light. So there should be no problem if you recognize which one is darkness, which one is light. Because if you come with Suleiman, there's no compulsion, no demands for anything, nothing. Just giving you light. Just giving you light. You don't have to give him anything. In fact, you can't because you wouldn't know how to anyway. It's giving you light that you can check. You take the so-called sealed Bible. Why do you think the unsealed Bible, Revelation, Angel, was sealed, was put inside the book? To blow away that book. Once ignited, it would blow away the outer book. You put a bomb inside of a bomb, it's going to blow away the outer bomb. So once ignited, it blows away this reality, because this reality is based on the sealed Bible. So once it's ignited, that's the broken the seals, that means ignited. That's the book within the book. And it blows away. It's by definition, if the book is sealed, what you want and what you're looking at, right, is not what it really is, because it's sealed. So when it's unsealed, that means it blows away, right, what you thought it was, because the unsealing tells you what it really is, so what you thought it was is wrong. Unless you have broken the seals, you have no idea what that Bible is saying. Once the seals are broken, that means all your ideas, everything about it, are blown away, because now you see what the truth of it is. So it's easy to distinguish between darkness and light, because you lose nothing by getting behind the angel. What do you lose? Absolutely nothing. What do you gain? Everything. You lose nothing. You understand what the scriptures mean? You understand how the universe works? You're going home to the promised land. You're the gods, right? You have justice, freedom, equality for all, not just for the men against the women, all that kind of stuff. So what do you lose? You learn about the 5 pillars of Islam that give you defense and joy and happiness. You learn about the angel that opens your eyes to what the scriptures really mean. And it's not costing you a dime. It shows you how to manage your energy for success. As Master Prophet Muhammad says, you must know the mathematical language if you wish to be successful. We teach you mathematical language. So what do you lose? Absolutely nothing. But you have these demons, they're blocking that light. They don't want you to see that. See, they want you to be happy with absolutely nothing. See, because that's where it is. You got parasites on elephant. They're not going to let the elephant go. They want the elephant to be happy with their parasites. Their parasites are making them anemic. He's drawing all their blood. They don't want that the elephant to wake up and get rid of the parasites they live. That's what says darkness is parasitical. That's what parasites do. It takes but gives nothing back. That's what darkness does. It takes the light and gives nothing back. They're parasites. Let's see. Got a couple of notes here, brothers and sisters. Okay. So again about these demons. They're our worst enemy. That's why the Bible quantifies the open enemy. But it doesn't tell you doesn't mention the hidden enemy, because why would it tell you about open enemy? They were the hidden enemy. They're the hidden enemy. That's what makes them so powerful. See? Because they have a power in the fact they're hidden. Also, the fact they have some of our blood in them, so that makes them stronger than their daddies. But they got the same mind. So they love their daddies hardest towards their daddies. So they emit the same vibrations daddies does, which is negative to ours. It's canceling vibrations. If you understand how light works, you have canceling vibrations, canceling wavelengths. So they cancel it. See? So in other words, they cancel everything we do. Since there's so many of them, it's 350 million, I think they say, of them, and only 17 million of us. Look at that. And so we got to contend, right, with all those negative wavelengths and everything. And then the ones sneak up on us, that's very close. Because, if you're using lack of distance, then maybe you can kind of like tune it out. But if it's right up next to you, it's kind of hard. They got to turn way up loud, and right next to you, it's kind of hard to tune it out. So after a while, you start maybe singing music you don't really like, because that's just bombarding you. See, and all the lyrics, like we say lyrics as all the gimmick call stuff, niggas and call women and bitches and all that kind of stuff, because that's the whole idea. See, because music comes from the heart. Music that's where music comes from, the heart, because heart vibrates, and that's where the music comes from. That's why music dominates the world, because we have the most elaborate, most exquisite, most elaborate, most complex heart on the planet. So we produce the greatest music, because that's vibration. Music is all about vibrations, and it comes from the heart. See? So demons, they have a little bit of that blood, so they can do some of it, but they outnumber us, and so they're overwhelming us with their negativity, negative vibrations. See, and so we have to deal with them, and we have slots, right, to help us, right, to deal with that situation. Those that don't have it, right, they run to the doctor. They get depressed, right, all kinds of things, running Prozac, because they don't understand where this is coming from. See, once you understand, you know, the solution is not to stay here with them. The solution is to get the hell out of here. First, we stay here because he's a demon. Read Mark. When Jesus came on scene, he said, "Oh, please don't make me leave the country." So that's the demons. They're the greatest danger. Because like I said, if the music is bad, off at a distance, maybe you can tune it out. Because, you know, still, if because, you know, you're going to feel the beat. You can feel all the beats. You can feel even that weak music, right? But they can't feel ours. That's why they can't dance. When they dancing, they dance to what they feel. What they dance to is what they feel. But you hear all other beats they don't hear. So you say, man, they ain't in tune with that. They're in tune with what they're hearing. They're in tune with what they're hearing. See? But we hear all the other notes and things they don't hear. So we say, they're out of tune, they can't dance. See? We don't understand what's going on here. Because they are dancing to the tunes that they're hearing. Their hearts can't pick it all up. So demons, they can ease up on you. Because remember, from a distance, say, oh man, you know, maybe down the hall, the street, you know, they're playing music, man. It's annoying, right? But you can turn your little wood, you can hear yours. You might hear theirs in the background, but you know, yours is stronger, so you can, yeah, you be humming to yours, even though you know, in the back of your mind, you still hear a little theirs. But if they get closer, move them, you know, come up right next door, in front of you, all of a sudden, bam, they out blowing yours, but now you hear theirs, and you might not even particularly like theirs, but you know, you can feel it. So hey, now next thing you know, you're humming their song, and that's what the demons. That's the danger they have, because they ease up on you with that BS. Ease right up on you close with that negative vibrations, what your heart is picking up. Your heart is picking up this. Your ear can hear it, but it's not conscious. It's like the dog whistle, right? The dog can hear it, you can't hear it. But the vibration's still there. You still see, if the dog can hear, that means the vibration hit your ear. Because that's what it is, a vibration. But you didn't pick, you picked it up. You just didn't recognize, you didn't conscious of it. And that's what's happening right now, because of energy deprivation, right? We're not conscious of their vibrations, but we still feel it and we're still affected by it. So we're acting other than ourselves, and we don't realize it, because their negative heartbeat and vibrations, right, is affecting ours and starting to make ours, right, start vibrating like theirs. And some of us vibrate more. Some of us act exactly like them. And that's why you need slot to start, right, protecting you from that process. The more you say it, right, and it's accumulative. I've been over 50 years, so now I can distinguish a negative thought from mine. See, maybe but most of us can't, because we acting, oh man, and why are you acting like that? And they don't realize why they're acting like that, because they're being influenced by other people. And a lot of people fall in for all this, right, perversion and everything else, because they think that's them. They think that's their thoughts. They start thinking all this perversion, all that kind of stuff. And they want to secret other, all the stuff they're doing, you know, and they think when the pencil hanging down or stuff, all that's not demons, some of our people, but they think that's their thoughts, because their heart is vibrating to a chord. There's like a tuning fork that they got, so they're so encompassed with the devil's vibrations, right, that they're just picking up, and now they got their heart beating Devils got a heart beating like their hearts beat, so now they're acting like themselves. They don't even realize it. And the only solution to that, right, temporary solution, is salats. Because you got to make a lot of salats, and like I said, a lot of you are new to it, so it's going to start helping you. But the only real solution is separation, getting away from them. If you got a neighbor that's playing their music all the time, and they're not going to stop it, only solution is move. Don't move next door. Moving next door will not solve our problem. Staying here in America will not solve our problem. We just move next door. We still be right next door to the devils and everything else. So we still have the same problem. That's why when you understand mathematics, understand Islam is mathematics Islam, you start applying. You know that Farrakhan is a big ass lie. He has no idea what he's talking about. Once you understand, it's all about mathematics. And one thing you should ask them, say, Mr. Farrakhan, all the stuff you saying, didn't you say Islam, didn't Elijah Muhammad say Islam is mathematics Islam, didn't Master Muhammad say that? Do you agree with that? That Islam is mathematics and mathematics Islam? Do you agree with that, Mr. Farrakhan? Oh, yeah. Well, if you say yes, then okay, then give us the mathematics that's the back of all that BS you were talking about. Give us the mathematics that back up all that BS you were talking about. And he can't, because it's all bullshit. So that's the problem with the demons. They get up with you the evil vibes. Some of them sleep next to you, some of you married. And so now you're all vibrating on their wavelength and you don't understand it. So now you run to the doctor, you get Prozac and all other stuff, right? Because you're acting other. And some of us actually drive insane because it's just too much. Some of our hearts are so weak, right? Mess I did with drugs and everything, our hearts are so weak, that actually drive us insane. Actually, totally other than ourselves. That's the thing we have. Driving insane, driving us into immorality, all kinds of sexual diversions and stuff. That's not us, people. The Bible tells you that's not us. They say, they talk about, maybe I should have posted that, right? They talk about, I think it's in the so-called New Testament, right? Where it says, I do that which I would not do. See? He said, who want to help me with the situation? I'm doing that which I would not do. He said, the only one who can save me from that situation is Joshua or Jesus or Suleiman. Because he says, I'm hopeless. I do that which I would not do. I'm acting under myself and I can't control it. Because your heart is beating to another tune because you were surrounded with all these demons and devils. They all got negative vibrations and your heart has been overwhelmed by it. So now your heart started to be tuned up with theirs. And angel warriors, you should know better. Because now that you know how to protect yourselves, right? Then you see other angel warriors, right? Then you should be able to understand that and not allow that to have it go between you, cause a friction between you. You should know better. Because you know you're not dealing with that person, you're dealing with the vibrations that we all been exposed to. And that's what we're working towards, right? To annihilate those vibrations, to minimize them and then eventually annihilate them. We're trying to save our people from them. See? Bring them out, get their minds back, control themselves. Because right now our minds are out of control because their vibrations overwhelming ours. Oh, another thing is that, right, okay, that's one of the things the demons, right? I mean, there's a purpose to get our minds to vibrate on their frequency. So that take our energy instead of voting to our vision, vote to their vision. See, that's one of the tricks they have, right? Because if you think that you have no options and America is your only option, then obviously you're gonna go for the American dream, or you're gonna or you're gonna say, well, I can't do it any of it, just off yourself. But if you don't do that, right, you're going to say, okay, I'm gonna go with them. You're gonna try to get as much you can out of the American dream. That's the whole point they want. Because you think you have no other options. I mean, that's the only option we got. And that's why Suleiman, that's why Muhammad came here, tell you got another option. You ain't got to stay here. Now, if you only option, you got to stay on that job, you got no other job, you're going to do whatever the boss tell you to do. You got children, you got cars and everything else, and you know you can't get no other job, then you ain't going to do, you want to kiss that boss's ass if that's necessary to keep that job. Because you don't have any options. But if you know you go get another job, then hey, that's a whole different story there. You have a whole different attitude. See? And that's what happened. You have another option. You ain't got to stay here. You're going to got another option. You got the promised land. See? You got a God, right, that's going to protect you. You got a high priest that's enlightening you. You got other options. They don't want you to see you have other options. Like your boss, he's going to make you think that, hey, nobody's going to hire you. Because if you think you got other options, then he's toast. You understand? You have other options. They don't want you to know that. That's why Pharaoh can't tell you you're not going anywhere. He knows that's the whole purpose. Master Muhammad came here to tell you that you have another option. The promised land. And he said, Elijah Muhammad, to certify for you, to certify that you do have that other option. But then he can't, Pharaoh can't come here as the annihilator, like he's son of perdition, tell you, no, you don't have no options. You got to go with Master. That's what you got to go with Master. Maybe get some reparation. Master's going to help you. You got to go with Master. So that means if that's the case, that means you ain't going to listen to any of this. First of all, they ain't going to let you hear it. But you're going to do everything Master tells you to do. Jump, whatever, because you think that's your only hope. That's your only answer. And Master's going down. That's the Titanic. See. So that's the case on that. See? So demons trying to get you to think, but they're you the demons. He wants you to think like Master. That's why Karen Fowler said, you need to think analytically. No, that's the way Master thinks. See, if you understood the scriptures, you understood science and mathematics, you understand what's driving this whole situation we're going through right now. We don't want to think analytically because we're not analytical thinkers. We think spatially. Master Muhammad and the shit, they think analytically. They're technicians. See, he doesn't know shit. Anybody that knows anything, no, he doesn't know a damn thing. But they lack them. So keep lacking them. You know, some people lack crack. Where does that get them? Right? Some people like shitlings. Right? Just because you lack it don't mean it's good for you. Okay, let's move on to a couple more things here, then we're going to close it out. Now, this war they're already at war right now. It just hasn't reached a boiling point, 212 degrees. See? But the Europeans, they reach the boiling point first. And then come Orient after that, and then so forth, right? Because they're less mass. Mass times acceleration equals force. We all have the same force, so their acceleration is higher because their structure is weaker. Anyway, I'm not going to go into details about that. But the point is, their temperature is hot. They get hot right now. They burn up everybody because temperature is heat. Remember, it burns everything around. So Europeans, they burn everything around, especially America, burns everything around them. It goes to country, burn them, you know, they cause trouble and destruction everywhere they go. See? But the thing is that this war is about, you see China get, that's the goat in Daniel. You see it get very angry. It said when they come, he'll be very angry. Be very angry at this ram, talking about America and Britain. So we're about to hit the boiling point any day now. No one knows the date and time but Master Muhammad himself. He's the father. He's David. Suleiman is his son. Right? But we close. And my best guess it'll be any day now. But the point is, when that war, when it gets kinetic, that's when it's getting kinetic. That means, right? Because they fight now. They tell you, they admit they're at war now. I don't want to get kinetic, right? When you actually, you're not just selling wolf tickets and you ain't throwing stuff at each other. You're just slugging it, throwing death blows, which is about to happen. All hell breaks loose. But they're busy telling us, trying to tell us, false Israel that is. See, they're busy trying to convince us that we are them and they are us. See? So we have a situation now where they're trying to exterminate us. You got to read the scripture. They're telling you, right? They're trying to exterminate us. Now, I'm going to give you a little hint here. See? Because some things I cannot say because when I say I'm telling them as well as telling you. But when you consume something, right, that means you're taking out of existence. What consumes things? Taking out of existence. Parasites. Now, I'm not making any direct statement on this. I'm just saying something in a very general way. We know those who study Injil know the story of Adam and Eve, and we see the story there, right, by Adam and Eve, is that the story there is that if you compare it to what it says in Injil, that they're going to try to attack us before the war. See, the Injil tells us that this war, sixth seal, right, where the war starts, but it says they're consuming us. But it said in Adam and Eve, they were trying to do this before the war. They're trying to consume us before the war. And that's what it says, because they were trying to eat a tree of knowledge of good and evil before the war. Okay. But it says that chapter in 6th seal, it says that the war would happen before, a great wind would happen, and would grow the figs before they were ripe. In other words, before they finished. Because ripe means they're ripening. They just wasn't ripe. They was in the process of being ripe. They just hadn't finished yet, completed. So in other words, there was a process, right? See, a process that was going on, but it wasn't completed yet. That's why I use the term ripe. See, because when if you knock down trees, apples that's not ripe, the apple is still there, it's just haven't fully developed yet. So it's growing. So that means the plan is in the process of happening. It just haven't been fulfilled yet, completed. That means that's the state we're in right now. Because it says they will be doing the plan, they'll be doing it, right? But the point is that the wind would blow before it was right, before it was completed. And now it's been revealed, at least that's what it's saying, and they're offering proof, right, that this thing that they talking about that's plaguing everybody is a parasite that eats you away. And that's what it says, right? Because they use the word that they will consume or eat a knowledge of truth, good and evil, which represents black people in America, represents Islam, basically, and be specific about it. The Christian, black, those are demons, right? And the Nation of Islam. Those are supposed to be the Nation of Islam. So in all blacks generally. See? They point those specifically. Is that a coincidence? Because we're told they're in the process of doing this right now. But before they can complete it, see, before they complete that task, right, that wind would blow, see, and that wind would blow, and so it would cause the fig trees to flow before they were ripe, so before they're finished. So that's the war. So they're in the process of doing it now, but this war is going to take place, right? That's before they complete it. Finish doing what they're doing to eradicate us. That's the whole plan. Is that they have a plan they have a plan in progress around the eradicate. That's what Scripture says. See, Farrakhan ain't tell you he don't know. But that's what Scripture say. They have a plan in progress right now. It says, let us destroy them, right? Cut off from being a nation. So the name of Israel be remembered no more. We the true Israel. We understand that, bro. It says I can't be too much specific for that, too specific about that, because first of all, listen, they watching you on these platforms, and boy, you get too close, crash. The only thing you're telling them, I have to be very careful because I'm telling them. When I'm telling you, I'm telling them. They listen to all this stuff. They listen to everything I'm saying. But if you understand Scripture, they're in the process of doing this, whatever. Just think about what their process of doing it right now. Before they complete it, before it's finished, before it's finalized, right? See? Before a job is finished, right? The war takes place, preempts all of that, breaks it up. See? Understand that. And aside from the point that they're trying to make us believe that we are them and they're us. Because they're the ones that are cursed. You say, oh, no, well, read it. Who is Cain? Wasn't Cain cursed because he killed his brothers? They're the ones that's really cursed. See, you got the sealed Bible, unsealed Bible. They're trying to make us think that we're the one cursed. Noah's son. But it tells you, they was the one that was really cursed. They was given a mark. See, when they say the mark, right, is that we were made black. It's the opposite. They were made white. They got the mark. You got to understand sealed Bible, unsealed Bible. Read it. Cain was the one that was cursed, really cursed. Was Noah's son. See? Because Noah represents Suleiman in the ark. I'll show you what the ark was. There's not no curse there. It says a rainbow is put over the earth. Anybody paying attention to the angel, right? That rainbow right there, it's right there above the earth. It says there'll be no more flood, anything, no more curses anymore. So it wasn't Noah's son that was cursed. It was Cain that was cursed. False Israel, Satan that was cursed, and the mark was on him. And so he said, he prayed that somebody that mark would be covered up. So, because everybody would see it, would slay him. So how was it covered up? He pushed the mark, the story of Jacob and his Sue. He put the mark, Jacob, that's false Israel, right? Because he stole Jacob in the Bible. That's not us. That Jacob, they're talking about, he was a usurper. He stole the identity. That's how he got the name Israel. He stole it. He extorted it from the angel. And he robbed his brother of everything. You see? And so he took his brother's ID. So he switched it, right? When it says brother was marked, see, that's how Cain got out of it. He says, okay. So he switched it. So now, say we're marked. No, they're the ones that's marked. See? Okay. So what is that? What's the outcome of that? The outcome of that is that they're driving the world right now. False Israel, the sealed Bible, right, has the unsealed Bible, the potential, the Bible has a scripture, the angel inside of it, right? That's what's sealed. And when it explodes, it blows away the sealed Bible. That's where thermonuclear bombs work. It takes the fission bomb that's on the outside, it takes it to be ignited and generate enough force, right, to ignite the one inside, and one inside blows away the one on the outside. So it took all the pressure of the sealed Bible, all the pressure they put us under, right, to ignite, to produce Suleiman, to ignite the unsealed book that's going to blow away its whole reality. It's all mathematics, bro. It's just blowing it away. That's what you see right now. You see the world is changing. It doesn't change by itself, brothers and sisters. It changed by our thoughts. This world came in by their thoughts. Now this world's been in chaos because our thoughts is coming on the scene and it's moving out the way. That's why they're confused. They're fighting. They're really battling against our thoughts. All this technology and everything. You think there's no. It's the result of them manipulating it to serve their purpose. See, but we the one gave it to them. Like, you give somebody a horse, well, they can do what they want to do with the horse, but they wouldn't have to do anything if they didn't have the horse. So its technology is the embryonic stage of our technology. It's like when a baby is mumbling. Well, this is what you see. Wait till the baby starts talking. This is showing the beginning of it's showing the beginning of the birth of our nation. Because our technology is going to start here and going way beyond this. But they never had this before 1948. This is embryonic stage of our technology, which all you seeing around here right now. All these jet planes, super computers, all that kind of stuff. That's our technology that they've manipulated. See, or we come with the ideas, and then somebody comes with the blueprint to give the technician, and the technician can take and you say, okay, here's the architect, right? He gives you the blueprint, architectural design. But once the engineer, he can start making modification things with it. He's the one actually bringing it in existence. And then they say, man, the designer, right? The architect says that's not what I envisioned. Well, yeah, but okay, you gave me designs. Okay, I took the materials and I decided to make some modifications. Do it this way. So they're taking our energy, our ideas, and use it against us. But it's ours. All you see on this is ours. Came out our minds. But we say B, they're technicians. See, they're the evil technicians, so they've taken out. That's why Master Farmer came to get us, because he is technician. They're the good technicians, the righteous ones. And they'll take ideas and use it for righteous. See, being it is. Because we're going to, since we have a mind that's totally spatial, 90% spatial, never had that before. The rest we had was a mind that was 50% spatial and 50% technical. See? But now we have a mind that's 90% technical and 90% spatial. That means that power that we have now, because the spatial represents the original people over here in America, the true seed Abraham, and techno is Farad and the she over there. And once we come together, we're going to create something that's never seen before. Never say it's a nation that will never be destroyed and live forever. And be brought brilliant and gets better and better. Quantity is better and better and better. See, why is it even from the first God? Because the first God, he was ambidextrous. Half his mind was spatial, half was technical. He only 50-50. We do things that was never been done before, never been imagined. So they're trying to, right? They're the ones that's cursed. They're trying to make us think, verse of scripture, make us think that we are them and they're us. They flip, and most of us going along with that. See? So now you got a war over in the east against the technical mind, and you got a war over here in the west against the spatial mind, and they have to come back together because they kept us separated, so we couldn't communicate with each other. See, so therefore we had to deal with their technical brains, and so they was able to take all that spatial thought we have and produce all this here. But Master Muhammad, he's David. He saw Bathsheba. She had an abusive husband, so he got rid of her husband. Then he married Sheba, right, and produced Solomon. I mean, it's a little out of the secret there, but the point is that's what you get the point, right? That's what's happening. So now, that's the story of what's happened. But now, what's the result of all of that? Because they've laid this foundation is based on the sealed Bible, and false Israel, right? They're the god of this world, Satan. So they drive this whole affair. And Gog and Magog Gog and Magog, right, fuels them. But they're the god. It says Satan is the god, right? But Gog and Magog receives their power, their drive from Satan. See, it's like a gear train. The gears won't move unless you got the master gear that makes it turn. And so false Israel, the master gear is turning the European nations in the direction they're going, which is a negative direction for us. They turn them. And so as false Israel is giving inspiration, it's driving it. If it stops driving, the whole thing just stops. It just has momentum and then it stops. It's like your engine. You're driving at 100 miles an hour, you cut the engine comes off, your car's going to coast. There's nothing driving anymore until it just engine is spent and then it stops. And that's what happens if false Israel goes out. Then the rest of the world's on momentum. See? And it's easy to slow down momentum, stop it. So that's what's getting ready to happen. Master Muhammad is getting ready to take out false Israel. It's driving this reality. See? Because right now, you got the angel, right? That's a master gear turned in the other direction, like you see right there in the lower right-hand corner, right? It's trying to turn the world in the right direction. And you got false Israel turned in the wrong direction. So you got the two opposing forces there. See? So when Master Muhammad takes out that one, there's nothing to oppose the angel no more than just the momentum they have left. That's why it says 10 can take out 1,000. See? Because when you only have a momentum cannot stand up against drive. These books are mathematical books, brothers and sisters. I keep saying that. Once you understand mathematically. Once you understand, that's why you got to learn the mathematical language. The angel is teaching you, preparing you to think the mathematical language. So when that happens, remember, they have the world hating us because we're the one that's cursed. We're the ones causing all the problems. They got the world hating us. We're the ones hating people on the planet. So see what they've done? See the backfire? Because once it's revealed that they the truth, they false Israel, we the truth of Abraham, that hatred is going to flip instantly. All the hatred they built in the world for us is going to be turned against them. Because now, because the whole hatred is, because remember, the whole hatred is based on the fact that we're the cursed ones, that we're false, that that they're true Israel, and we're not. See? We're the cursed ones, we're the son of Ham, we're doing to being enslaved and all that stuff, and that's what they've been telling the world. So, and the world's built up against those people. But now they found that they're those people. I'm not talking about the ones over there, the ones over here. Now they're Shem, they're the ones, Cain, they're the ones, right? Because the hatred is built already. It's like, for instance, here you are, and you build all this hatred, right? Say you say you say you some kind of personality, right? And your personality is that you're some kind of a dope dealer. So you're portraying a dope dealer. So now you got everybody hating these dope dealers. Oh man, that guy's terrible. See? So you done got everybody riled up. Man, you just a guy. But they know you're playing a part. But you playing a part so good, everybody hates dope dealers. Man, they really hate them. Man, if I catch those clowns, I'd burn them up myself. See, because you watch the movies, and you find these characters play the character so good that you think that character's the character, right? But it's an actor. So he got you really think they the lowest down, they pedophile, everything, right? And then you found that they're that in real life. Now they got you taught you how to hate that person. Now you find so that all the hatred redounds on them that they created for that character. Then you found that that's them. They really like that themselves in real life. They generate hate, now it's down there. Same thing with false Israel. They generate all this hatred towards the people that claim they're Jews and not. They say that's us, right? They claim they choose Abraham and they're not. That's us, right? This Ham, this curse, right? That's us. All that stuff, right? So the world hates us because of what they're saying. Because they're saying that they flipped the switch. Flip the script. So they're saying that they're true to Abraham and we're the false ones, so all the hatred is built up against us. But then when they found that they're the real ones, they're the false ones, and we're the real ones, all that hatred they built up is going to fall on them. Bam! Backfire. They become the most hated people on the planet. See? They're going to come against us because of fear. Because of fear of, that's what it says. If fear, it says, remember, it's two things. The fear came on, men's hearts were filled with fear for things coming upon the earth because the powers of heaven have been shaken. See, in other words, the powers of heaven, who's in power in the heavens right now? European countries, God, Magog, and false Israel. That's been shaken, they just lost. So now they're in fear because now they understand who true Abraham is, and now they're in fear because God's coming after them. So they fear. So they come after us in fear because they want to take us out. Because we're the source of all America's problems. Because God's coming after them. So all this stuff they see happening, that's God's doing it, right? And it's doing it because of us. So they're going to attack us out of fear. But they're going to attack them out of hatred they built up towards us. Because now they say they're the real Cain. They're the ones really marked. So there's going to be hatred towards them and fear. But it's going to be devastating on both sides because they're going to try to wipe us out of fear and they're going to wipe them out of hatred because they're going to blame all the problems, right? All the foreign policy problems and why all the countries turn against them and why they're at war now with China and India and why they're at war, right, with Europe and everything because of their policies because they tricked everybody that they was false Israel. And America's policy is based on what's going on in the Middle East anyway. They'll be the most hated people on the planet. See. So aside from the fact that it's going to be devastating when they go down, false Israel taken down, I'm talking about the ones here. See. So it's going to backfire on them. See, they're going to be totally destroyed here. Hope you understand that, brothers and sisters. Okay. This. Hold on, brothers and sisters. Okay, and the other thing is that. Remember, this war breaks out. It's already, when it goes to the boiling point, what happens? Already identified, right? Now it's clear, we're true seed Abraham. They're going to come out of fear. Immediately. See? But they're already attacking us now, right? But they before they finish, because this is right then, like I said, and they're in the process of eradicating us now, right? Because it said that we'll do it in a way, so let's deal truly with them. The way they're going to think is happening. That's what's happening right now with all the stuff going on, right? But before they complete it, before they can get to the elect, see? And before they get to, right, the Levites, before they can really get to them, right, that's when mass problem goes into action and takes out false Israel. See? So first, they kicked out of heaven. Dragons, angels go, Michael's angels go against dragons, angels, and then false Israel was laid siege and taken out. But during that period, right, because he's doing that just in time, because it says it would be before they complete their task. So they're in the process of doing it now. It just ain't finished. It's not right. So they're in the process of doing it now. So he goes in action, right, just before they get to us. Because they're moving in. Man, you better, mandate, you better take it. I'm getting tired. Better take that shot. Think about it. So, that happens. See? So, Gog, Magog, and false Israel, they kicked out. See? But then immediately, America and Britain goes to war with China, India, and Europe. I talked about that. And then false Israel is under siege because there's no, they don't have protection from Gog and Magog anymore. They're under siege in the Middle East. And they're betrayed by an African nation they thought was friend that's going to betray them, it's going to cripple them. See, that's another story. But at that time, when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, know that desolation of apartment is near. It says when you see the desolation of apartment stand in place, when you see it stand in place that should not be, right? That means falsehood should not be there. You know, the desolation is nigh. What does that mean? That means when you see, when you see the war happen right there, that's Suleiman goes into action. Because remember, he's fighting over here at the same time. When the war starts over there, the technical war starts over there against the dragon. The spiritual war, the spatial war goes over here with the beasts, with the demons. So he's kicked them out. Now he's controlled NOI. See, Foster's under siege. So that's when he says, Suleiman, right, son of man, prophesies to the four winds. Now I told you, four winds are already here. See? It says prophesies to the four winds. Right? What does that mean? Listen what it says. At that point, those are the Africans that are here. The Levites that are here. Most of them are Christians. Says prophesy to them. What do you mean? Tell them what's going on. Make clear to them what's going on. Because they're going to be attacked too. Prophesy. So tell them what's going to happen. And they're going to listen. They're going to listen. They're going to arm themselves. They're going to listen. They're going to arm themselves. Because they're organized. See? And then when false Israel is taken out, which will be very quick, see? Then full-fledged attack. Not against us, but the false Israel that's still here in America. Because they're going to be hated. See? Because now it's revealed that they was lying all the time. They wasn't real. America, foreign policy, everything was based on that, to give them trillions of dollars, billions of dollars over the years and everything else. And now, they had total disaster over there. And now they're at war with China and India, right? And a lot of China technology they got from false Israel. You don't know the half of it, brothers and sisters, right? So now they've been eradicated here. They've been eradicated. Eradicated. But they weren't prepared for any of this. So when they come in to cut your throat because you weren't paying attention, because you didn't listen, they're gonna be cutting their throat too. See? And some of you are going to run to them thinking they're going to protect you, and they're going to be cutting both of your throats. That's what's happening. That's what's going to happen. So he says, son of man, prophesy to the four winds. So they're going to prepare themselves. And so when they attack, right, because they're not leaving, they're going to stay in the suburbs, wherever they are, they're going to be fighting, they're going to be prepared. When they come to cut their throat, they're going to get a hail of bullets and everything else they can get thrown on. Because those Africans, man, they've been at war, been fighting for hundreds of years over there. All they know is fighting, so they prepared for that. They're not running. They're not fleeing. See, that's what it says. They're the ones that come, right? When we were fleeing, the mountains came and fell on them while we were fleeing. So now they got a war with all these millions of Africans here that they're united. They got prepared. See, they ain't gonna be isolated and, I'm living over here, over here. No, they're gonna all have gotten together. They're gonna be a big surprise for this country. They're gonna think over there and they're gonna meet they're gonna meet armies. Armies. Because you got millions of them in this country. Well-organized army, that's what they're going to meet. See? I could never say it before, because they could prepare for it. It's too late to prepare for it now, because this is about to jump off any time now. And so, and that's give time for some of us that were stragglers, right, to escape. Because they're not doing it to help us, they're doing it to protect themselves. See? And the Africans ain't doing it to help us, they're doing it to protect themselves. But they listen. It says, "Well, prophesy. What's the point prophesizing, right? If they don't do anything." So when he prophesies, the four winds blow because they listen. Hope you understand, bro. So I think we're going to cover pretty much everything I wanted to cover here. Then we all come together. I always said where we're going to come together at. Around Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, 17 million, 34 million, the demons also. And then we got the demon wars with us because they want to dominate like they always do. Oh man, we got an army here, man. We could take America. Maybe we could negotiate something with Massa or whatever. We don't hear that garbage. Leave it there. We're going. But that's their mentality, and they're going to control it. Because they think we're stupid anyway. Because that's the masses' ideology. That's masses' mindset. We're stupid people. Because they think analytical and we're stupid. From their point of view, the analytical mind thinks the spatial mind is stupid. See? Y'all listen to that stuff, man. How y'all gonna get out of here? Man, we can take this country, man. Look, it's 34 million of us, man, work together, right? And we can build another America. We can take this over. We don't want to build another. We don't want none of this garbage. Because if they took control, we'd just have the same thing. We'd just have a black-faced America, but the same damn thing. It may be a star, maybe a flag with black stripes or white stripes or black stripes and red stripes, but it'd still be the same damn thing. It'd just be their control. They're like these cities. And that's what they want. And they could be listening to Farrakhan. Same mess. We ain't going there, man. We got to fight, take care of this, man. We got to fight. All that kind of stuff, right? And in the meantime, right, you got China and India is moving in on the West Coast. Tribulation. See? And so we got to battle them and kick them out, separate ourselves from them. That's the last battle we have with the demons. That's what it says in Exodus, right? Joshua and with the war with those with Suleiman, with Joshua. It says, because Moses didn't say those with me, he said those with the Lord come with me. Talking about Joshua. So they had a conflict between two, and it says Joshua and his forces, they wiped out all of Aaron, Farrakhan and his forces. It says 3,000. That means, if you understand Injil, what that means, it was all wiped out, kicked out. Once they was kicked out, right? That's what it says in Mark. It was thrown out with their devil daddies or swine dads. They went to war with them. See? But we delivered. But the Levites, so-called Nation of Islam right, that was deceived by Farrakhan, they stay here to go to tribulation. They stay here to go through it. They deserve it because a lot of people lost because they got blood in their hands. Because they allowed themselves to be fooled by lying Farrakhan. So they got to go to tribulation. But we're delivered out of it. And during that time, 5 months demon war. 5 months called locust. So now you got the four winds, the Africans. They had open conflict. There's civil war in this country. Open conflict. And not with the army. The army's overseas fighting. It's with the civilians. It's going to be civilian wars here. The army's overseas fighting China, and they ain't busy. They ain't got time over here. See? And the ones that are here, the so-called National Guard, the ones that are here, right? They're not in that battle because now they're preparing, right, to deal with China and India that's moving on the coast. So most is between just the civilians. And they're tired of fighting each other. They're wiping out the falls of Israel's here. And they're wiping out all the blacks they get their hands on. And the Africans are fighting back, right? In military formations. And then you got the original people, right? See, they've already, like I said, it's just a great army, so they can protect themselves. See, and you got the Levites with them, their army, but they left behind when because Master Father delivers at that point in time. And then you got the demons, right? Their army too. See, remember 17 million of them, we separated ourselves, we whipped them, kicked their ass, kicked them out, but they, as an army, they feed them, they still an army. So now they come back and they fight with their devil, because they try to, they can't negotiate with them. And so now you guys total turmoil. Food run out. The weather's raging. The plague is raging. And then you got the goat of China, India on the west coast moving in under those circumstances. How can America defend itself? It's in total chaos. It's been it's fight everywhere. And then they're moving in. And that's what it says, right? It says that Moses was made the Red Sea, right? That's the four winds. They moved, and so that meant the children of Israel could move. They talking about this. That's talking about the false. Talking about the NOI that's left behind, right? It was the part. They let them through, and then they closed in on Pharaoh's armies. That's the National Guard of things that it was chasing them. Because they remember when they leave their army too, but they're trying to get them to come back and help fight. Because they see the army building up over there. Now they want the demons to fight, help them fight too. Everybody help them fight. Because now they see the army's moving in on West Coast. And so that's what it says. As Pharaoh was chasing them. See? Didn't want them to escape. Because you see the army's moving in on the West Coast. But when they get there, they're right there, they don't know what to do. Oh man. See, they're complex, they're confused. And then what happened? They let them through. And then they closed in on Pharaoh's armies. And so when they closed in, they drowned, they got rid of, wiped them out, and then they seized all the cities. No food in, no food out. By that time they starved anyway. And said to be starved so bad they eat their own children. We all talked about all that. That's what's the story. That's just the next few days. That's the time all the angel warriors that's been studying, see, they're gonna be shining like, well, up to a time that we deliver it. See, because they're gonna be the beacons that when it says, when the four winds blow, when he prophesied, they're gonna be beacons that guide people to Indiana and Michigan, because they don't know right now. They're the ones that guide. Okay, people, they're all over the country. There's gonna be more of them. And so they're gonna be telling the people, right? When they see forces under siege, people gonna start waking up. It's okay. This is what you need to do. See, and getting them out and all of listen up away from everybody else up to those three states. Hope I laid out for you, brother and sister. I think I tried to make it clear as possible. Hope you understand. I think I covered all my points here. But remember, brother and sister, nothing happens on its own. It says Allah has control over all things. You have to understand what Allah is. Elijah Muhammad told you Allah is. That's why it says Allah. All of us. We are Allah. Nothing happens without permission. We gave them permission to do what they did to us. They crossed the line. That's why they catch what they're catching. See? If they had obeyed and then crossed the line, We could have saved them. They would never save on this planet. We'd have put them on another planet. We got billions of planets out there. We put on another planet where it doesn't have any metal, like or anything they can use to escape the planet, and they can live there. But they lost that opportunity. That opportunity is gone. See? We control everything. Nothing happens, right, by accident. Everything's under control. The weather, everything is under our control. You just don't realize that's say you will not return to have until you have your mind. Brother says I need some rest, right? But you will not return, right, until you have complete knowledge. See, you not return. So that's where you have to have it, because you have to understand what you're doing. You understand you're controlling these things. So right now, I look out of control because you haven't learned how to, like a child, right? You got a piano, but you want to learn how to play it, right? So you make on, right? So you're still making noise, but once you start learning how to play it, melody, then you control it. So right now, we're affecting all the weather and everything. We're affecting it, but we just don't. We don't know how to control it yet, but we're the ones causing all of this. His lessons tell you that. Even the Bible tells you that we understand it. Quran tells you also we understand it. So that's why you have thorough knowledge of self. Once you have thorough knowledge of self, then, right, now you're not just on the keyboard beating some, produce a melody. We never have bad weather and stuff in the hereafter. Never had that. See? It says in the scripture that anybody in the hereafter, any nation oppose us, will make them have bad weather. It says we're going to make them have bad weather. So that means we're controlling it. Read it. It says if anyone that gives any issues, right, then we'll make them cause not to rain or whatever. So that means we're controlling that. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. War talk. We're at war. I'm trying to make it clear as possible. See. So work together, brothers and sisters. Unity doesn't come without a cost. Everything is energy. So if you don't have energy, that means you're not working towards it. You're not giving the energy necessary to make it happen. If you injure war, you should know better. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. I think that covers everything. Assalamu alaikum. Well, I'm going to say one last thing here, brothers and sisters. Okay. Right here. If anything I said makes sense to you, that says here makes sense to you, right? Make a little small adjustment here. Here's our contact information, right? You wish to help be a messenger of the covenant, right? And you're a warrior, right? Contact us. We'll help you along those paths, help you achieve that goal. Because our people, right? It says our people are lost for lack of knowledge. So we're trying to solve that situation as much as possible. Get as much knowledge out there as possible. Because you got a lot of people that's blocking the light. So our people walk around in darkness or the shadows that these clowns like Farrakhan and everything, is blocking light. So people walk around in the shadows of their darkness. Because when you have something that blocks light, it throws a shadow. That shadow is darkness. And so these people, they're blocking light. So our people walk around in the dark in their shadows. And a lot of people are going to be lost as a result of it, which is on their blood is going to be on Farrakhan's hands, Sal's hands, all these scriptees out there and all these time makers. Well, Elijah's the last one and all this stuff. When the truth is here, Elijah came with the truth. He thought you'd think logically to deal with truth. But you don't. You rejecting truth because you don't. This is truth. Is everything we say we can prove, but you're not about truth. You're about bullshit. Most of your agents anyway, or demons, or just outright fools and vipers. And we got something for you. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Again, Assalamu alaikum.